So there you go. Apparently this is called Porte Aiguillère, probably one of the main gates of the inner city. I think they did a pretty good job to keep the old atmosphere of the old city, keeping the pavings. Maybe they have reworked them probably, but I think it's a good choice to use that. Look at that, this very old building. It's written 1778. It's pretty old. And I believe that the rocks that have been used here probably come from around the region. It's very interesting when you travel from one part to another of France. You can see the architecture is really different from the different extreme points of the French territory. And what you noticed very often is that the building material also changes because they just use what they find around. There you go. And here you are, the City Hall of Puy-en-Velay. Very lovely. Simple but nice. You can buy this flat up there for your summer vacations. Have a nice poop. Whenever you see narrow streets like this is kind of signature of the vibe. Shall we go this way? Okay, let's go this way. Better start climbing now. Yeah, we're on the right way. Cathedral. These old steps. So many people have been through here. And here you can see already the reminiscence or some clues about the spiritual importance of this place. It's very quiet. See this type of building blocks. Do you know that way? I'm looking for that way. Let's go this way. Oop, this is probably a detour, but anyway. I think this is a very old wall of some building. I can see some old arches, and they have carved, they have closed the whole thing, and on this side they have carved another window. But this looks pretty much run down. The thing to notice though is, again, a very dark rock. I don't know if it's a volcanic rock. Oof, that's a steep climb. Let's keep going. Of course, because it's a city from the Middle Ages, most of this kind of city have been built on the top of a mountain, so it allows you to have a protection. And basically in the Middle Ages there are a couple of types of towns. You have the towns that are built around a castle, and you also have towns, even villages, that are built around the church, because there's some radius around the church where it is said that you can't really kill people or do action of war within this radius around the cathedral. Speaking of cathedral, let's keep going. Definitely this is a really cool city. The architecture really mixes a lot of styles, a lot of materials from different times. I think it's this way. Look again. Ooh, I think I'm starting to see some part of the church already. I don't know if it's open and how much we'll be able to see from it, but let's try it out. Well, here we have a nice view. Oh, okay. I think we have found the main entrance, actually. Here it is. And that's the main street. Let's get down a bit. See, the Velay is built in a valley because this region is quite mountainous, lots of hiking trails, and it's also most of the mountains that you see, many of them I guess, are all volcanoes, extinguished volcanoes, but still you can still see the big mountains and the hole in the middle, the crater. I guess we have someone taking a picture. I'm trying to not ruin it. Vous faites une photo promo?
Ouais, faut.
Bon bah c'est bien, hein. Vous vendez quoi?
La liqueur.
La liqueur? C'est la liqueur de quoi?
Verveine, tout ça.
Ok, super.
Ouais.
Bon, bah, c'est la verveine du puits, c'est ça?
Saint-Sigolène de Haute-Loire, ouais.
Ok, super. Bon
Ouais.
bah chouette. Bon bah bonne promo, je me pousse, hein. Comme ça je ruine pas ce que vous faites.
Pas de soucis.
Bon bah super.
Ouais.
The characteristics of this church are quite particular because it clearly reminiscent of the Byzantine style. Even, you know, all these arches, you can see the same thing in Moresque mosques and old palaces that you can find in Andalusia, Spain, and but also in the Byzantine Empire. I'm not sure if it's the first cathedral that has been built, but this style is definitely kinda out of place given all the cathedrals that you can find in France, and they definitely do not look like this. Just try to have in mind Notre Dame, which is completely different from this. On this side you have also the Hôtel Dieu. Basically, Hôtel Dieu is the French name for hospital. The hospitals are, Hôtel Dieu are the old hospitals. Many old French cities have these Hôtel Dieu, and this one is basically 100 years old. No, 1,000 years old actually, sorry. And many cities have these old buildings that used to be hospitals, and the people who were in charge were the people from the church, healing and taking care of the deceased and ill people. And what happened is that all these buildings in many cities, they have been repurposed and into I don't know, maybe museums, maybe apartments, and new hospitals have been built on the outskirts of these cities. But yeah, quite view, and it's a quite nice showing for people climbing. You can hear people breathing really heavily because even myself, it's quite a small hike. That's Notre Dame du Puy. Okay, let's get inside. Apparently, from what I've learned, is that this cathedral has been built through the 11th and the 12th century, and this first part that you see is the most recent one. And because of the influx of all the pilgrims, they have decided to build this big porch, which is also quite uncommon in cathedrals. You don't find really porches, from the cathedrals that I've seen, whether it's in Strasbourg, Paris, or other cities. So you could imagine all the people sitting here waiting to set off for hundreds of kilometers of walking through south of France and the north of Spain. This is where we came from. Yeah, there you go. The architecture, as I told you, is quite close to the Byzantine Empire, but also from how the art inside is made. Let's see if we can get inside. Okay, so basically I think this entrance is open during the summer, but yeah, because it's winter, we gotta take the back door. trying to preserve the old art that has been drawn on the walls. That stuff right there is quite new, it looks like. I wish I could hear from this org. It's pretty massive. Look at this. This is a painting that has been made. I don't know if it's the date. I mean, the painting is contemporary to the date of this thing depicted here, 1630. Apparently, thanking God for protecting them during the plague. And the Black Death. Inside of this cathedral, you can see the black Mary. Let's try to see where she is. Probably in the center. Oh yeah, that's right. There she is. In the very center. So here, as I've heard, there's another nice viewpoint. So here, this is the cloître, the cathedral, and there's the small, I don't know, courtyard, from which I've heard there's a pretty, oh, indeed, that's a nice view. There you go. So maybe you'll see it, but that main square right there, this is where we came from, and we have climbed all the way here. Looks far. So, well, this is basically where all the pilgrims start. And here there's this tourism walk where you could go around the city that I think they call the Camino. But I think, yeah, it's closed. Anyway, you see this lady up there? Let's check it out. It really feels like the Middle Ages here. This is really cool. I would bet they shot some movies here, historical movies, because this is really well preserved. Oh, I didn't know that. But you could climb through this statue. Reminds me of a famous statue in New York, I guess. More stairs. Ouch. That was karma. Look, if you're too tired, you can buy for 10 euros your own walking stick. This will follow you to Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle. Maybe beat up some bandits with it. Of course, we're in France. Got the whole cheese selection. See, as I told you, this is a region where you have a lot of volcanoes in old formations, geological formations like this. So you might wonder why such a big rock like this in the middle of a mountain that is just popping out. Well, actually, this is a volcanic rock that has been formed, I guess, millions of years ago, and this is just the leftovers of the chimney of the volcano, like where the whole lava would go out. So this has solidified, became this basaltic black rock, and all the dirt, the soil that was around, just went away with the rain and the wind. What I also learned about this big giant rock, it's that it has been carved for centuries ago, before even this statue was erected, even by the Romans, for building, as a building material. So that's why you see even like the paving here is the same rock as the one made from this big mountain. And that's why also some of the buildings I've shown you have the same color of the rock. Probably it's because it has been carved out from here. Oh, how funny it is. This probably looks like some kind of an old stairs. Sorry. Pardon my English. That's the other side of the town. See the other mountain right here. We'll try to get there too, of course. Well, this is it. We made it, guys. So, what is the origin of the statue? Damn, I think I swallowed a fucking fly. Blah. This statue has been built with metal, and this metal, it has been taken from cannons. These cannons, you got some of them left. Big, massive cannons. And these ones have been looted from the siege actually of Sebastopol that took place in the middle of the 19th century in current Crimea. So the current emperor of France, he took them, melted the whole stuff, and made this nice statue out of it. Oh, there's so many flies, it's crazy. We'll try to get in. Could you imagine? I think, see, the double headed swan, I think. This is not French. This is probably Russian. There you go. Some leftovers, just so you know that we took him. These have probably fired some cannons. That's crazy to think. Look, another one, different caliber, pointing right at the city. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, this, I kid you not, guys, this is made from iron. Pure iron. No, maybe not pure iron, but pure cannon iron. And rocks, of course. Oh, there you go. We can see the inner structure of the statue. I wonder if it's the same in the Statue of Liberty. Now, there you go, a little window. Pop your head out. You can see they have built it different, like a puzzle. See, there's like a big square here, bolted together, and it's just assembled. Bonjour. Vous allez monter?
Oui.
Allez-y.
Enfin, je vais essayer.
On dirait la statue de la liberté.
Mais c'est bien bizarre. Vous me rattrapez si je tombe pas? Bah, on est là, on est là.
Très loin, mais on est là.
Au but. Non, mais c'est pas grave. Mais j'ai la bouche gavée. Ah oui, on vient de mon éclairage, non, ouais. Oh, c'est bien. Ouais. Bon, on va pas. C'est vrai, la descente, en vrai, je pense que c'est le pire. Ils peuvent pas mettre plus solide l'échelle. Ouais, fais un peu.
Ouais, le fait qu'elle bouge, c'est pas très rassurant.
Ah bah t'es bien, on va.
Plus là, celle-là, elle est un peu tordue là.
Oh, dis pas ça quand j'y suis.
Ah oui, pardon, j'aurais pas dû. Désolé.
Ah bon, c'est toujours parti.
Look, we're at the very top. You even have a hole right here, and I think maybe I should get rid of this. Oh yeah, that's baby Jesus. That's the insides of Jesus. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's climb to the very top. I hope I'm not gonna slip. Nope. Yeah, like the old lady said, it's quite dirty. And we're basically at the head. Look, this is the nose. This is the eyes. This is the nose, this is the mouth. And this is whatever. And boom, et voila. Well, they put a dome on top of it. But we are in the best view you can get. The sound must be horrible. William and Lisa. Hope you're still in love. Alright, let's get down. Look, so the direction of the statue is facing a particular direction. It's the south. See? It's right in the front of it. Salve Regina. And the main south, yeah, you're almost aligned with Algeria. So hello fellow Algerians, much love. If you want to go to Rome, you go this way, I go Rome. And if you want to go to Madrid, oh lovely Madrid, there it is, the other way, naturally. And of course, Paris is right at the back. The altitude of this, yeah, it's pretty high, quite a hike. Okay, let's get down. Although I have paid €4, the thing that you get for €4 is, I mean, the hike, of course, but they built some good infrastructure. You got something to wash your hand and maybe even fill up your bottle, and you also have toilets, of course. I mean, the hike is not that high, but always nice to be able to take a shit in the middle of the hike. Anyway, let's continue. Oh yeah, one other thing that I haven't showed you, but the pilgrimage of Saint Jacques de Compostelle has some kind of emblem. This, and you could see the hikers wearing this hanging at their backpacks. Okay, so now the next step is to get to this other chapel built on this other rock that I showed you. So let's go. Shouldn't be far, but a little of climbing probably. Oh, look at that. Seems to be another entrance. So here you have a really nice example about how things have been built, and you have some additions. Here you have like some typical columns. This dates probably after the construction of the main cathedral, and then here you have a more classic, neoclassic door frame. Hôtel Dieu. So Hôtel Dieu, as I told you, that's the old hospital. Here again, General Hospital, 1763. Oh, look at this beautiful carving, wood carving. It's pretty rare to see this on the outside. So typically here, as you can see, this rock typically looks out of place, and that's really leftover of a very old volcano where all the soil around it eroded, and only the basaltic rock, which is way harder, way slower to erode, stayed in place. And these folks just got the idea to build a chapel on top of it. So yeah, why not? Pretty cool. Let's keep going. Oh, I love this. This reminds me of Rome. Access to water. Of course, this one is not drinkable, but you know, When you've been walking miles and miles in the middle of the summer, at least it's always good to have something to refresh yourself. Alright, let's begin the climb. So there you go, you have exactly what I was trying to explain you in a very bad way. There used to be a sea with an underground volcano. The activity made that volcano that erupted out of the sea level. After millions of years, the sea went away and it left just this rock. And eventually, all that stuff eroded, went away, and you just have this. Oh, look at this. Okay. Is it some kind of bubbling, 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 bubbling? Keep going, keep going, keep going. This is very cool for the kids. I love geology. To me, it's really a cool part of science. I'm trying to spin it as fast as I can. Ah, there you go. That's typically the leftovers of the salt, the chimney, and there you go. Spinning the wheel like a mad lad. Okay, let's keep going. Nice little garden. Oh, that's really, really cute. I would love to wake up every day here, take a little breakfast, read a small book. Look, beautiful nook. Okay, let's continue. Okay, let's try to get inside. The gargouille. That's a very tiny chapel. Bear. Oh, we can't go through here. Okay. This art looks pretty old. Probably dates from the period of the construction of the chapel centuries ago. Bonjour. Bonjour. Someone made a nice little drawing. Well, that was a very, very small chapel. In size, there's no comparison towards the big cathedral that we saw earlier, but it gives a sense of intimacy. Well, I guess that's it for today. This town is really nice. I guess I'd recommend to come for the summer just to enjoy the nice weather, but I do reckon it's quite nice to have almost for ourselves, because it's the winter and we're only alone with a couple of tourists or maybe locals. So yeah, le puits en Velay, that was pretty cool. Alright, see you guys for another adventure. Well, the first time coming here, I thought there would be no train available for some time, but look at me, looks like I've been fooled. I'm going out using this bad boy here. Oh yeah, lucky me.